Okay, so new functionality around the work breakdown structure is really they added the roles, and then up here there's this publish button. So I can create this work breakdown structure. Nothing's really going to happen until I publish it. So this is activating your WBS. So once I publish, great, now it's in use, and I'll see this information to be selected when I go and start consuming labor, materials, expenses through business documents. The other cool thing is you can actually have different versions of the work breakdown structure due to this new publishing functionality. So you can see now there's the edit button up top as well. So if I want to edit this, I can't just come in and start adjusting things. This is all locked down because I'm not in edit mode right now. So if I hit edit, now we have a bunch of different options up top as well. So now you can see once I'm in edit mode, I can edit things. I'll just put project manager is required for this role right here, even though actually I'll just put business analyst. You can show differences. That will just add a new column down here and tell you if there's a difference. You could discard this draft right now, which would put us back to our original version, or you could show the published, which just brings you back to the original version. But if you do make any changes, you have to make sure you're publishing it to have those take effect, or you could just discard draft, and I'll just discard it right now. So you can see that that just got rid of that change I made, and I'm back to my just published version in a view-only mode. So once you publish as well, you notice that the icons for resource assignment, attachments, and auto-generate team are available. So auto-generate team, we'll talk more towards the scheduling aspect, but it will build your team when it comes to the resource management type functionality. It would basically, if we hit this button, it would create a new team or a resource here called Business Analyst 1, and then you can fulfill that resource with whatever resource you have available. You can also take a look at all the resource assignments if you had any set up as well. Okay, so we just created our simple work breakdown structure with 5 activities assigned to them, or assigned to it. Let's go ahead and log some labor towards that. And I guess before I do that, we'll take a look at the different views. So you see on the top left, there's the tracking views button, and this is basically the different tracking views. There's 2 of them. There's the cost tracking view and the effort tracking view, and we'll just take a quick look at those. And right now we're in the planning view, it's called. But if we hit the tracking views button, it brings you right into the cost tracking view. And you can see that it shows the top, the root node, the project node, and it's saying you have, I guess, planned costs of $19,000 roughly, and here's how much is remaining. And this is an editable field, so if you want to type something in there, you can, but you have to explode this out first. We'll do that in a second. And then it's showing how much cost to complete you have and the variance and whether the activity is closed or not. So if I explode that out, you can see where I was saying that this is editable. You can just type a number in there. You do so, it updates the whole thing, but we'll just keep it as normal. And we get in a subsequent module, we talk about revising your costs and just your WBS in general and how you handle that type of situation. But yep, so here's the cost view. It's just giving you a cost view of it, and you can see that there's an actuals column and how far along you are with each specific task. Then there's the effort tracking button right here, and you can see it, look at it from an effort perspective. So here's all the hours that are remaining, effort at complete, and then the planned effort as well. So those, I just wanted to mention those real quick. Okay, so let's consume some labor to our specific project. So we had 16 hours estimated for the analysis phase, and let's just say that they worked, our resource worked, and they actually consumed effort towards the analysis phase, and we'll just jump in and log a quick hours journal. All right, so I'm going to create a new hours journal. And you most likely want to make this during the time frame of that specific activity, but there's no restrictions around it. So I could book time for a year, from like a year earlier or a year later into the future from now, and AX isn't going to care. It's still going to consume like the dollars to that specific activity. And I'm going to run into a problem here because this is in a created state. So let's do this. It's going to allow me to jump to that. Nope, it's not. All right, so let's go back to our project and put it in a in process state. Here's my collections implementation, and we'll say project stage, in process. There we go. And we will go to the hours journal from here now, and we'll create a new one. And we'll say that we have on the 28th, did some consulting work, and we worked, let's say, I don't know, yeah, we'll just come in on track. And then on the 29th, say we only work 7 hours, and we'll post. Okay, so let's go look at our work breakdown structure. So I'm just going back twice to my project, and then on the plan tab, we'll go look at the work breakdown structure. And now we can see in here, nothing really going on from a planning aspect. It's still the same. We said the start and end date are 3/28 to 3/29, but if we go look at our tracking views, this is where we're actually going to see something. And notice I screwed that up because all the costs is up here, and the actuals, it's shown at the project level because I forgot to post to a specific activity. And if you don't post to an activity, that's what's happening. It's going to go to that root node. So if you want to show up here, you have to actually stamp an activity on there. So first of all, that brings me to a nice segue into a control that you can add to your specific projects or have defaulted onto your specific projects based on your project parameter setup. So if I go to my all projects list real quick and just open up the details of project 141, and on the setup tab, there's a bunch of toggles to require an activity on forecasts or journals. What I wanted in this case was to require that. So if I screwed up like I did, it wouldn't allow me to do so. So basically, this is going to require us to put an activity on a journal for hours. So if I come in here and try that again, let's say on 3/28, add some consulting, and we'll just do 5 hours just to show you. We'll go ahead and post. Look at that. Enter an activity number. The required activity number for hours transactions is marked in project. So it's saying, okay, when you're in here, you need to pick one of these activities. So basically, here's all the different activities that we can assign to that specific line. So we're going to pick the analysis, and then we'll post. Okay, so this is how AX is tracking which activity this labor is consumed towards. So now if I go back, and then we take a look at our work breakdown structure again, and we go to the different views, so we'll go to the tracking views. Now we have $900 booked towards the specific activity. So for the stuff that wasn't booked to the specific activity, you could adjust it, cancel it out if you wanted to, basically do a reversing entry. But in our aspect, so basically we booked $900 worth of cost to the analysis phase, and it's showing that we're 30% complete. Overall project, we're $3,600 out of the plan $19,000, so you're 18% complete. If we look at this from an effort tracking perspective, it's roughly the same, but I've seen a lot of times where these get blown out of whack because your rates are different and all that type of stuff, but it's just two different views that you can take a look at. All right, so that's going to conclude our demonstration here of a simple WBS and how you analyze it a little bit.